Thank you very much, Mr. Tuzel. Let's give him a round of applause and let's reconnect quickly with the professor. Can the professor hear me? And we are left with 5 minutes, Professor, on your part, and we shall allow you to continue. All right. I think the professor is not, please let's communicate with her. I shall proceed. We're going to take Mr. Clark now. Mute the professor, we shall proceed, we will finish with her. I shall proceed, Mr. Clark, and I will take you straight on the podium.
Thank you, Chair. Greetings to all. I'm sure we've been greeted enough today, and I don't need to do it again. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this opportunity. And as an investor and a significant investor in this town, let me tell you what matters most to people who invest. First of all, they want a well-run and functioning municipality. And there we are slipping up. We need to fix that. We've got an NCR in place, and we certainly hope we're going to get our heads around this piece. We've also got issues with other infrastructure, which are part of the Chris Hani stable, like sewage, and that needs to get fixed. The next big thing I need to say to you is that we're in both the soft drink business and obviously the dairy business. Soft drinks need water, and we can talk about water security 10, 15 years down the line, and there we're going to need to talk about what needs to happen at the Waterdown Dam and with the pipeline. When we talk about Crickley Dairy, we've just invested a significant amount of money in expanding our product range, and we're going to be needing 50 million liters of milk in the next 2 years. 50 million liters means 400 million rand. I don't know if there are any other businesses here that are going to be able to purchase product from the agricultural sector to that extent. And there is no infrastructure required from an industrial perspective. None whatsoever. But yes, we need the milk and we need milk production. Let me just tell you something else about the dairy industry in this country. The highly productive lands between Mossel Bay and the Kai River have already been developed by successful dairy farmers. When I started in the dairy industry, there were 35,000 dairy farmers in this country. Today, I think there's less than 2,000. It just goes to show the scale at which you have to produce milk in order to be viable. If you do not milk 600 cows or more, you are running a marginal operation. Do the sums. 20 to 30,000 rand a cow, probably 70 million rand a parlor before we even get to irrigation. We're talking corporate-sized checks which need to be invested to get a brownfield into a producing dairy farm. So this is a significant cash. And like the gentleman from ECDC said, as soon as you are faced with these kind of challenges, the first thing that the bankers and the financiers want to know, who's the jockey? Who's the jockey that's going to run this thing, and how do I know that I'm going to get my money back that I lent you? So this is where commercial farming comes into the irrigation space. It is highly specialized, it is highly technical, and it is very sophisticated. And it requires people that are on top of their game. And that's why the 35,000 dairy farmers are now down to 2. That is, 33,000 of them didn't cut it. So that just goes to show what is required in this space from a technology and technical perspective. So let's not underestimate the challenges of doing a project like this. The only other land that is available for good quality dairy production 365 days of the year lies between Craddock and Maclear. those areas. That's it. And if you really look at it, there are not many areas that have got the kind of water that Konka, Lubisi, and Ngocha have got. And we all know, it's the elephant in the room. We all know that there are land use issues at Ngocha. I had a delegation from the province and from the president's office in my boardroom in 2019. And I said to them very, very clearly after we'd had a number of negotiations with Amahlelo that we urgently, and I mean urgently, need a land use policy on these schemes. As I see it, standing back helicopter, these are national assets. These are assets that don't belong to a single person. They belong to the country. And it is the onus of the government of the day to take charge of what happens on those assets and decide how we are going to extract revenue and get economic growth from those assets. To me, that's the logical conclusion that I have. We can't have a situation with Amahlelo on our faces where every couple of months there's an issue as far as payment goes and want more money and this, that, the next thing. Dairy's a hard game, guys. I've tried to explain that 35,000 has dropped to 2,000. The margins are tight. You've got to be very, very good at what you do to make a profit. So we need to give these guys a security of tenureship for 25 years so that they can produce milk in order to recoup their costs. If we can't give them that kind of agreement, that's cast in stone. They're going to just say, and their funders are going to say, sorry, we can't bury that amount of cash into a place where we don't think we're going to get our money back. Okay? The next part is, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll finish here, Chair, so I'm cognizant of time. The next part is, my contract starts now. I need that milk now. I need 25 million liters in the next 12 months. I need another 25 million liters, 50 million liters a year in 2 years' time. So, are we going to face a situation where you get to the bus stop and someone says, oh, hi, bus imke. Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sorry the ministers aren't here. I'm sure that you can communicate the urgency of the situation to the ministers. I need 50 million liters of milk, and the easiest place to get it is that man sitting there. And if I don't get it from him, I'm going to have to get it from somewhere else. And then he busts in Kiel. Thank you, Chair.
That's it. Thank you very much, Ken. I think this is the question I said we must raise sharply as I opened this session, that the elephant in the room is the land. And the investor that has just committed 400 million, am I correct? 400 million ticket, please register it, has been committed. It's got a caveat, and that caveat is saying the people that are dealing with the risk capital must give money so that the land knitting can be done properly.